All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, kind of mysterious tools used in the modern world.
Have you ever wondered about that? You mention something out loud and boom, an ad for it pops up on your phone. It feels like magic, or maybe a little bit spooky. But it's not magic. It's all about data.
Well, the answer is what's called a data portrait. It's a process that takes thousands of little pieces of information, census data, spending habits, what you do online, and weaves them all together to tell a surprisingly human story, just with numbers.
So, to really get our heads around this, we're going to become data detectives for a little while. We're opening up the case file on one specific community, a single zip code, to see what its data portrait really shows us. Okay, let's dive in.
Every good investigation starts with the big picture, right? So first up, let's get the lay of the land. What's the overall vibe, the identity of this community?
So, the very first brushstroke in our portrait shows us a place that's this really interesting blend of wealthy living and that classic suburban comfort. It's apparently a magnet for established couples who are all about a high quality of life and, get this, staying plugged into the latest tech. Okay, now let's get into the numbers, because this is where it gets really interesting. We've got a solid population, over 66,000, but look at that home ownership rate, 81.7%. That's huge. That tells you people are putting down roots. And that daytime influx, that means over 36,000 extra people drive into this zip code for work every single day. That tells us it's a real economic hub.
All right, so we've got the 30,000-foot view. Now let's zoom right in on the people themselves. Who are they really?
Marketers don't just see people. They group us into these lifestyle segments. And here in Canton, the top three are neck and neck. You've got boom burbs, front porches, and up-and-coming families making up almost half the community. But what on earth do those names actually mean?
Yeah, let's unpack these a bit. Boom burbs are basically affluent, family-focused folks in booming suburbs. Makes sense. Front porches, you can almost picture it, right? It's that more settled, traditional suburban lifestyle. And up-and-coming families are just what they sound like. Younger, professional families on their way up. Put them all together, and you get a picture of a really dynamic, family-first kind of place. And check this out. This slide really drives that point home. The local median age, 37.2, is just a little bit younger than the national average. That little youthful tilt, it lines up perfectly with that up-and-coming family segment we just saw. It shows a community that's still vibrant and growing. So, when you tie it all together, the picture becomes crystal clear. The dominant profile here is married couples, probably with kids, working in skilled professional or management jobs. That's the core identity, the heart of our data portrait.
Okay, so we know who the people are. Now for the really big clue, let's follow the money. A community's economic power tells a massive part of its story.
And whoa, we're starting with a huge number. The average household net worth is almost $750,000. And remember, this isn't just income, this is wealth. We're talking homes, investments, all of that minus debt. It points to some serious financial security. Now, that kind of wealth doesn't come from nowhere. It's built on some pretty strong earnings. The average household here brings in over $130,000 a year, which totally backs up that affluent lifestyle we heard about earlier. But honestly, this next number, this is the one that makes marketers' eyes light up. Disposable income. After you pay for the mortgage, the groceries, all the necessities, the average household has over $94,000 left over to spend, to save, to invest. That is some serious economic firepower. And right here, this is where you see the two halves of the story just click together perfectly. The people, younger professional families, directly fuel the money. High net worth, tons of spending power, and a really low unemployment rate. See? The people and the money are telling the exact same story.
All right, so we know who they are, we know what they earn, but hey, it's the 21st century, right? A portrait isn't complete without digging into a community's digital life.
This quote from the original data really just says it all, doesn't it? For the people here, technology isn't just a toy, it's a tool. They're investing their money in the latest gadgets to help manage their busy lives. It directly connects their digital habits to their financial success.
So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it means they don't just own a lot of tech, they are super engaged online. And, this is crucial for our investigation, they're actually open to being reached by businesses on those digital platforms. For them, it's just a normal part of the modern world. Okay, so we've built this incredibly detailed portrait. We know the people, we know the money, we know the tech, so what? Right? Why does any of this actually matter? Well, it matters because this portrait isn't just a bunch of interesting facts, it's literally an action plan. If you're a business trying to connect with this community, the path is spelled out for you. Create content for families, find them on the digital platforms they're already using, and make sure your message is all about quality and convenience.
And that's really the whole point, isn't it? This isn't just data. A data portrait turns all those abstract numbers into a very real human story. It's a blueprint that helps businesses, city planners, even neighbors understand a community on a way deeper level, what they care about, what they need, and how to actually talk to them.
Which, it leaves us with one final thought. We've just spent this time decoding the story of Canton, Georgia, but every single zip code has its own unique data portrait. What kind of story are the numbers telling about the place you live?